Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.
Welcome to Bayou Time Sports. It is my pleasure to have here with me the head coach of the Nicholls State Colonels, Tommy Rybacki. Coach Rybacki and his group went out to Troy, Alabama this week and unfortunately came up on the wrong side of the stick. But as we were mentioning before we actually started this interview, if you woke up on Sunday morning and did not realize how that game played out, shame on you, because the Colonels played extremely well in that for at least 3 quarters. I'll ask Coach Rybacki to expand a little bit on that. But a game that they were leading 17-10 going into the fourth quarter, again, got away from a little bit. Coach Rybacki, thanks so much for giving us some time. Hope you're doing well and hope you guys are sort of, I guess, licking your wounds, but getting ready to go next week, right?
Yeah, doing well. We were able to turn the page yesterday when the guys came in the morning from the Troy game, and now we're on to working on West Georgia. So
talk a little bit, you give us a synopsis of the game on Saturday. How did you feel your Colonels performed, and what did you think sort of happened during that fourth quarter?
yeah, I thought we took a step forward as a team in terms of our performance. I mean, obviously leveling up and playing against a Troy team that is a talented team and will be competitive in the Sun Belt. We were right there in the game and actually took a lead with 11 minutes to go. And unfortunately, we weren't able to finish. Down the stretch, I thought, they made some plays down the stretch. They were able to hit some runs, and we missed some tackles, and they had some short fields, and they took advantage of that. And that's why the score ended up being, what it was. But I don't really think that score tells the story of the game. But either way, we got to look at the issues in the game and what we did well, we got to continue to do, and then, fix the issues that we had and things that we didn't do well.
Final score out there, Troy, was Troy 38, the Colonels 20. Going into the fourth quarter, watching with a group of friends, and as the game sort of got away from you a little bit, we were talking about those factors in the fourth quarter that could have hurt. So I'll turn it over to you when I ask this sort of multiple choice question. We were mentioning conditioning could be an issue. Depth could be an issue. Focus could be an issue. What do you think the biggest issue was?
Yeah, I would say, I think the first two are related, depth and fatigue. And I would say those are the two things that cost us down the stretch. I mean, fatigue affects you a couple different ways. It affects your physical ability, clearly, but then also your mental ability to process and execute in the most critical times. And I think that's what showed up down the stretch. We missed a few plays, a few opportunities, from both an execution standpoint and then also like a physical standpoint. We had a couple, 3rd and 11 that we weren't able to get off the field. And then a big 2nd and 10 run that went for about 9 yards that shortened the down and distance down the stretch. And I thought those two critical plays really affected the outcome of the game.
One thing that we should mention is you did have the Offensive Player of the Week in the Sun Ling Conference, and that was, pardon my pronunciation, Miguel Brock, who rushed it 7 times for only 34 yards, but what was impressive, he had 6 catches on the night for 87 yards, and he had a couple of touchdowns in the game. Talk about that young man and sort of the season he's had to this early point.
Yeah, Miguel is just an explosive playmaker. You ought to see him every day. I mean, he loves to play. He's quite the competitor. It doesn't matter whether it's football or in the offseason playing basketball. This guy loves to compete, loves to play, and he's really special in space with the ball in his hands. And I think we've done a good job in the first 2 games of giving him some opportunities where he has the ball out in the perimeter and he's able to put his skills to work and make some big plays happen for us.
As we mentioned multiple times, Troy scores 28 points in the fourth quarter. They rushed for 272 yards. Is that a concern for you?
Yeah, I think so. Anytime somebody's able to run the ball like they were able to run the ball down the stretch is obviously a concern and something we'll take a close look at or have taken a close look at and get addressed as we move forward.
Special teams, we talked about a little bit last week, has to get better, and I think it did. I think punting was a little bit more consistent. You were 2 for 2 on field goals. You had just 1 punt return in the game, and Solo Lewis did a pretty good job with that 1 punt return. Happy with the special teams?
Yeah, I think we're making progress in that unit also. as a whole. I mean, punt, we're looking to be more and more consistent as it goes on. And Pharrell getting more comfortable back there punting the football has helped us. I was pleased with the field goal unit to be able to convert for points. And then the big return on the punt return was huge. And, we got to continue to play sound on the kickoff and kickoff return units.
So pardon my ignorance on this, but being in the FCS, as compared to being a bowl division team like Troy is there a difference in scholarships and things like that? Because to the average layman like us guys, we don't quite know the differences. Is there any sort of difference on what you can and can't do related to the structure of your roster?
Yeah, for sure. And that's continuing to change, and that gap is continuing to widen. Troy is a team that has, the ability to have 105 guys on scholarship. And then now with the new revenue sharing, they can pay guys over and above their scholarship a good amount. And so they're able to attract a lot of not only high school recruits, but also transfers, and, able to have a lot of depth that maybe an FCS program can't because of those advantages that they have from a scholarship and resource standpoint.
Well, again, as we started this segment, although it was a loss, there was not a step taken back by the Colonels. I think they went and they played extremely well, showed out, as the young folks say, and just kind of got away. But we can turn that all over this week, right? We could put that in the back burner.
Yeah, no choice but to move on. I mean, that's what sports are about, and you're able to process the losses. And we've had the fortunate opportunity in the early season, man. We had the opportunity to move on from a big win, and then now we got the opportunity to move on from a painful loss, which will both be really good experiences for our team, and things that successful teams have to be able to do is be able to move on from those two things.
Very good. Thank you so much for the time, Coach. We appreciate it. Good luck this upcoming Saturday.
Thank you.
That's it for this segment of Bayou Time Sports. We're going to be right back after this timeout.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.